Something just happened at this World Cup that has never happened before. Not once in 96 years. The 4 teams left standing are the top 4 ranked teams on the planet, in exact order. France, number 1. Argentina, number 2. Spain, number 3. England, number 4. Quick context, in case you're newer to this. The World Cup has been running since 1930, so we're talking about nearly a century of tournaments. And that ranking? It's the FIFA World Ranking, basically a running scoreboard of every national team, where you gain or lose points after every single game, and beating a strong team is worth more than beating a weak one. It's the same math they use to rank chess players. So for the 4 best-rated teams in the world to all survive to the same semifinals, through 48 teams, every upset, every shootout, every giant that fell along the way, is genuinely unprecedented. The ranking said these 4 should be here. Almost never does the chaos actually allow it. So the wild part of this tournament is over. What's left is the heavyweight round nobody can argue with. Here's where things stand. 4 teams, 2 semifinals, then the final. 2 games this week decide who plays for the trophy. Win, and you're 1 match from being world champions. Lose, and it's the cruelest exit in the sport. Close enough to see the final, and instead, you're sent to a 3rd-place playoff nobody actually wants to play. And the 2 matchups couldn't be more different. One is a straight collision of the 2 best teams in the world. The other is a rematch dripping with decades of history, the kind that comes with old scars attached. In this video, we're breaking down both. Who's playing, when, where, and what each of these 4 teams actually did to get here. Because none of them arrived the same way. One hasn't conceded a goal in over a week, one keeps winning games it has no business winning, and 2 of them are carrying the hopes of nations that have waited a very, very long time. First semifinal, France against Spain. Tuesday, July 14th at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. This is the one the numbers built. The number 1 team in the world against the number 3, and honestly, it might be the real final in disguise. France have been the most ruthless team in the tournament. They're the only side that won every single game in 90 minutes. No extra time, no penalties, no drama. Just win, go home, repeat. Kylian Mbappe is chasing the golden boot. The attack is frightening, and they're hunting their 3rd straight World Cup final, which almost no team ever does. Spain are the opposite kind of scary. Where France overwhelm you, Spain suffocate you. They haven't conceded a single goal in this entire tournament. 6 straight clean sheets, which is the longest defensive run any team has ever taken into this stage of a World Cup. Nobody's solved them yet. So it's the tournament's deadliest attack against a defense that simply refuses to break. Something has to give. Second semifinal, England against Argentina. Wednesday, July 15th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. If the first game is about the rankings, this one's about history, and there's a lot of it. These 2 have a World Cup past that runs deep, and not the friendly kind. For English fans, the name Argentina brings up old wounds that go back decades. So there's an edge to this one you won't find anywhere else in the bracket. On the pitch, they've arrived from completely different places. England have been steady and clinical, and Jude Bellingham has turned into the man they lean on when it's tight. He dragged them past Norway almost single-handedly. Argentina, meanwhile, are the defending champions who keep flirting with disaster and somehow refusing to die. They were nearly knocked out twice in the knockouts already, went to extra time again in the quarters, and keep finding a way. Whether it's fate or sheer stubbornness, Lionel Messi's team is still here, and still dangerous. 2 semifinals. One decided by who's better, the other, maybe, by who wants it more. So what does winning actually get you? Simple. The winner of each semifinal goes straight to the World Cup final on July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The 2 losers don't go home right away though. They drop into the 3rd-place playoff on July 18th in Miami, a game the players rarely want, but that still decides the bronze medal. So, from these 4 teams, 1 lifts the trophy, 1 finishes runner-up, and the other 2 fight it out for 3rd. Now, what's actually on the line for each of them, because it's different for all 4. For England, this is about ending the longest wait in their footballing life. They've won the World Cup exactly once, back in 1966, and haven't reached a final since. 60 years of near misses and heartbreak. This is arguably their best placed team in a generation, and the country knows it. For Argentina, it's about doing something almost nobody does anymore: winning back-to-back World Cups. No nation has done it since Brazil in 1958 and 1962. If this really is Lionel Messi's final World Cup, he's 90 minutes from the semifinal and 2 wins from going out as a repeat champion. That's the kind of ending that doesn't feel real. For Spain, it's a return to the top after a long drought. They were world champions in 2010, then spent over a decade in the wilderness at this tournament. Reaching a final now would confirm they're genuinely back among the best on the planet, and that defense, unbeaten all tournament, is the foundation they're building it on. And for France, it's about a dynasty. They won it all in 2018, reached the final again in 2022, and reaching a third straight final is something only a tiny handful of teams have ever managed in the entire history of the sport. This is a golden era for French football, and they're trying to stretch it as far as it will go. 4 teams, 4 completely different reasons to want it. And here's the brutal part of the semifinals. Unlike the earlier rounds, there's no safety net of finishing second in a group, no best third place lifeline. You win, you're in the biggest game on earth. You lose, and no matter how good your tournament was, it ends one step short. So that's where this World Cup has landed. The 4 best teams in the world, 2 enormous semifinals, and everything else stripped away. France and Spain in Dallas on the 14th. England and Argentina in Atlanta on the 15th. 2 winners walk into the final in New Jersey on the 19th. Everyone else goes home wondering what if. And here's what makes this stage so different from everything we've watched so far. For a month, this tournament has been about survival. Scraping through groups, surviving shootouts, sneaking in as a best third-place team. That's all gone. There's no backdoor left. From here, you either beat the best in the world, or your tournament is over. Simple as that. 2 games, 4 teams, 1 trophy left to give out. And by the end of this week, 3 of these 4 will have come all this way just to fall short. So I want to hear it from you. Who's your pick to reach the final? And who are you calling to win the whole thing? Give me your 2 finalists in the comments. And if your team's already out, tell me who you've adopted for the run home. Because this is the part of the World Cup you do not want to miss. See you for the final.